Welcome to the NBHL Game of the Week for Week 3. We were in New Jersey last week. We are staying in New Jersey Tier 1 this week. The Evesham Tortugas and the Marlton Dawgs. Thank you for being with us. I'm Matthew Aaron. For NBHL Game of the Week, Week 3, these teams not quite at the level of Lakely Caribou and Knights Watch in New Jersey Tier 1, but they're hoping to get there. They met last year in the playoffs. The Dawgs won 2-0 in that first round series. Evesham trying to look for a little bit of revenge. Dawgs haven't played yet. Tortugas are 1-0. Last year was the first time the Marlton Dawgs had not made it to the Nationals as a team. They were in the National Tier 1 title game in 2022, and they lost. Last year was a bit of an aberration for the Dawgs, and they're trying to get their season off to a good start. The Tortugas last year were 4th in the regular season. Marlton was 5th. These two consistently making the playoffs, but they're looking to make the next step. We are looking forward to watching the opening ball drop of Week 3's Game of the Week, and I'll be with you right after this.
I'm Garage Beer, and this is Bobby Carpenter.
Garage Beer. Beer-flavored beer.
Beef with an F? Okay, my bad. It's crisp and cool, and it doesn't taste like ass. I'm Bobby Carpenter. I drink in garages, because my wife says I don't belong inside. If you like a cold breeze on your bag, drink Garage Beer. It's American, and so can you. Garage Beer. Beer-flavored beer.
Getting ready for week number 3, the NBHL Game of the Week, Evesham Tortugas and Marlton Dawgs. Another playoff rematch in New Jersey Tier 1. That's where we were last week with Lakely Caribou and Knights Watch, and that's where we will get to this week. Like last week, these teams played in a playoff series. Tortugas lost to the Dawgs in a 2-game sweep. They have not yet won a playoff game in their history. Marlton Dawgs, of course, have been to the national playoffs quite a bit. They were the runners-up in 2022, one of the most consistent teams in ball hockey. They actually played in the predecessor leagues to the NBHL. That's why their logo is an X, because of 10 years. Either way, white and teal for the Tortugas, blue for the Dawgs. We're going to get underway. Looking forward to watching this unfold. They'll start behind the net. That would be number 11, Steve Scian, trying to get that ball right out in front. And they're able to clear it close to immediately. And the Dawgs will start with possession. Scian slap shot deflects over the top of Anthony Sanrocco in the Tortugas goal. Lots of brothers on both of these teams, and we'll get through that as the afternoon goes on and the evening goes on as well. These teams know each other so well, and in case you're wondering, yes, Marlton and Evesham are the same town, but technically it's an inner-city rivalry. But it works for the purposes of these two places because you can distinguish the team names. As Dennis Hickey setting it up from behind his own net. You're going to get to know him throughout this game. He's got an MMA background as well. Riley Rudolph, number 21, trying to bring it in as the Tortugas look for their first attack, trying to send that to the net of Tim Papano. That went wide. Cole Anderson-Hill, number 97, brought it back for Jake Miller, who was a former Tortuga a couple of years ago. There are some players who have played on both teams here and some players on these squads that have been members of Caribou or Knights Watch. This ended up being iced, so we'll do it all over again down at the other end. To get an idea of the situation. Here's that breakaway earlier, that shot that went wide. Dawgs have started out this game with more of the possession, spending more time in the offensive zone. I'm really interested in seeing how that goes. Dawgs' first game of the year. Tortugas won 7-2 over the Hawks last week, so they have some confidence already as this season begun. There's a quick shot that ends up finding its way right into the back of the net. A very, very quick shot. It was Jake Miller who gets it, and it just comes off a little face-off play. Really, no one able to notice that Miller had the space, and it's a very sharp angle, and it just goes short side on Sanrocco. He didn't think he saw that, but Miller gets the goal, and number 27, John Stewart, gets the assist. Good work from him, and good work for the Dawgs have a 1-0 lead. They took advantage of that and went very, very quickly, and they're looking for another chance. That was off the stick of John Stewart, who just got that assist, who was in front of the net. Dawgs again back on the ball. Austin Mauger, number 9, trying to push it down low, and now the Dawgs will set up from behind the net. There was some contact there. It was from Mike Davis, who was cut by the Caribou and has joined the Tortugas this season. Still, the Dawgs try to set up from behind the net. Just about 2 minutes in, that shot, I think, was stopped by Sanrocco. Again, I don't know how much of that he saw. And another turnaround shot from Miller, and ends up getting turned all the way back to the other end of the rink. And it will be icing. So a really promising start. As you can see, watch this little turnaround shot here from Stewart. And yeah, Sanrocco did make a good save there. He ended up seeing it a little late, but he made the stop, and then that another shot from Miller was stopped in much the same way. Really good work from Sanrocco to see all that through traffic. Had to make a couple of saves after one got by him earlier. Mauger trying to push it back up the wall. Finally, Aaron Huffnagel pushing it into the offensive zone, and immediately the Tortugas get one back. It was Huffnagel who sent it across, and it's Mike Davis who put it away. Look at this shot. Just blasted it by Papano. Not a whole lot going on offensively for the Tortugas, but Mike Davis didn't need a whole lot of an invitation. Just blasted it by Papano. Ripped the shot right by his shoulder, and this game is even at 1-1. How about that for a quick response? Really good work from the Tortugas to respond after a very slow start to this first period. 3 minutes in, each team has a goal. It was Davis from Huffnagel and Maroney. Scoring summary of first goal for the Tortugas. So after not having a whole lot of the ball, they're able to turn quickly and get a response. And now Scian will work his way in, number 11, giving it up to Dennis Hickey. Said MMA fighter, so he's going to play the game physical and play the game with no fear, number 55 in blue. His eyes out on that throughout the afternoon. Opportunity there, and that shot is stopped by Sanrocco. That was Scian who found a little bit of space in between the circles. Another shot deflects high up in the air. It was gloved down. As Tortugas try to clear, and they haven't gotten it beyond the red line. Down low opportunity. That's off Sanrocco's mask. Good save there again off of Scian. So Dawgs are playing really, really well to start this game. The shame of it is, for them at least, that after that promising start, all this offensive zone time, they gave up a goal, and really the only time they've spent time in their defensive zone. But Dawgs, even though they haven't played a game yet this season, they look sharp. And it'll be Davis to take the face-off here for the Tortugas against John Stewart. No relation to the comedian John Stewart, in case you're wondering. Jack Rhodes will work his way up the wall. He had a hat trick last week, and also not just a good ball hockey player, but he played in the ECHL and the SPHL at one point. He's got it again, and he shoots that over the top of the net. And another chance, and that might have gotten partially blocked by Stewart, went off his stick. Well, Dawgs will try to regroup and reset here. Dawgs won the New Jersey Tier 1 back in 2022. As I said, 2024 for them was the last time they did not make the overall national tournament. Shot in wide of the net. Pressure along the boards. And Stewart will try to turn it in, but it was turned over, and it's now the Tortugas' chance to go on offense, but pass across was flubbed, intended for Rhodes, who looks to go on offense almost every time there's a break the other way. Alex Higuereta, number 5, the defenseman, was cut by Night's Watch in 2023 and now is part of this team for his second year. Flipped in by Dom DeVito as well. 2 defense partners working together to get that ball into the offensive zone. Dawgs trying to hustle into the offensive zone with Hickey. It's going to roll on that. Sanrocco will cover it. He just lost it off the end of his blade. Good bat pressure from Egan. Matt Egan, number 10. And we'll get a face-off to Sanrocco's right. Still pretty much one-way traffic for the Dawgs on offense. But Tortugas haven't given up many great scoring chances as of yet, other than the goal. A couple of saves by Sanrocco, but they're ones they want to save. And now whistle blows. There's this opportunity, Hickey trying to get it back out in front. And just get a face off the other side. 4:15 to go here in this opening period. Still a 1-1 game. Goals from Jake Miller and Mike Davis in the opening. It's about 3 minutes. Goals happened 58 seconds apart from one another earlier in the period. That one goes all the way in on Papano. He was able to stop it. Tortugas trying to get something going on offense. Huffnagel also played for the Dawgs a couple of years ago, in addition to being former professional ice hockey pro. Definitely someone you're going to want to watch out for in this game. Timmy Ryan up the wall. Turned over. Huffnagel trying to get a shot away. Look at the sticks that corral that opportunity. Dawgs had that taken care of pretty neatly. Up the wing, Scian trying to back his way in. Good job protecting the ball. Higuereta tried to get him a stick check, and that slap shot from Timmy Ryan goes well wide. More pressure for the Dawgs. It's been like this for almost the entirety of the period. Anderson Hill sends it in, down low. Sticked away from Higuereta, who tried to force it ahead. And now, Tortugas can get this offense going. It's time to change the way this game's been played. Anthony Sanrocco's shot was blocked. Sanrocco brothers in here. DeVito brothers in here. Ball hockey is a family affair. Scian ends up deflecting wide from the neutral zone. Patience from the Tortugas. Altamare, number 71, looking to bring that back out in front. Ball is loose for a second, and the Dawgs now come away. Might be a 3-on-2 if they hustle. Miller with a shot, and that deflects off the stick of Justin Maroney, number 11, who was back defensively, and way out of play it goes. Look at the space he had, Miller. Actually, Sanrocco made the save, in fact. It was Maroney who went down to try to block the shot. And then Sanrocco ended up making the save. Went off his shoulder. In real time, it looked like defender might have gotten a stick to it, but another Sanrocco save. He's been good today. 2 minutes to go in period number 1. Trying to find some room behind the net. Now loose along the wall. We're trying to find some room again. The Tortugas finally able to get it out. This way, Maroney, left point, trying to work its way through. Cross crease feed. Didn't work out, went over the stick. The player in front of Altamare had to track it down. Tortugas again trying to set the table. Trying to get it to Altamare in the left circle. Never reached him. It's going to go all the way back down. Will it be icing? Yes. 1:12 to go in the opening quarter. Finally, the Tortugas spending time in the offensive zone. After it had been the Dawgs who spent most of their time in the offensive zone, first, really, 2/3 of the period. Draw to the right of Papano, Dawgs goalie. And Mike Davis, who was cut by the Lakeland Caribou. So we already know from last week, if you were with us for the game of the week, how good the Lakeland Caribou are. And opportunity for Davis to prove something in this game here today and along this season, that Caribou are going to be missing out on something. Here's Riley Rudolph behind the net. He's checked into those end boards. Looking for some room. Tortugas again working on offense. That was William Bonnick sending it down low. That came close to the side of the net for Rhodes. He tried to jam it in. Papano, and he couldn't stuff that short side. Again, Rhodes is going to fire one. That was easily stopped. Papano saw that the whole way. See Rhodes lining up for that. On it goes to the corner with 32 seconds to go of a 1-1 game. Game kind of settled down after that frenetic start. Cole Anderson, Hill, and that shot got started. Another save, Sanrocco. He was able to shut that down short side as well. 16 seconds left. It was Miller trying to get it in front. He'll pass it off. And again, Anderson Hill tried his luck. Nothing. Clock's about to expire here in short order, and there's a whistle right before the horn was going to go. Came off a turnover just inside this blue line here, and it was a great look at Sanrocco. Look at the shoulder save he made. He ended up knocking it off the net off the pegs off of Hilliard, Cole Anderson Hilliard. That was a great bit of work right there. Sanrocco's made some good saves, kept this at 1-1. Face-off is coming with less than a second to go. It was on net. Sanrocco had to stop it. It's 1-1 after a period. Really good period between the Tortugas and the Dawgs. We have a really fun second period coming. Intermission report right now.
Whether you're ripping clappers from the blue line or dangling through defenders, Napper has the sticks, gloves, and protective gear to take your game to the next level. Designed for ball hockey players by ball hockey players, Napper delivers unmatched durability, performance, and style on the court. Don't settle for less. Gear up with Napper and own the game. Visit napper.com to check out their latest lineups. Now, back to the show.
Pretty even between the Evesham Tortugas and the Marlton Dawgs. Two teams that played in the playoffs last year and know each other pretty well. Looks like they know each other pretty well after that first period of a 1-1 game. Matthew Aaron, thank you so much for being with us for the NBHL Game of the Week. In this Week 3, fast start for the Dawgs. Not surprising, considering it's their first game of the season. They want to make an impression. It's Jake Miller who gets a good chance away. Gianni Sanrocco, the goalie for the Tortugas, had made some really good saves. This one, I don't know if he saw it cleanly. Austin Mauger set it up. That was a really early goal. Only a minute 46 into this first period. And then the Tortugas, really, first chance they get in the offensive zone. And Mike Davis, caught by the Caribou, and you can see the talent he has. He just rips this by Papagno. Great shot. Huffnagel set the table as well as Maroney. And again, that was the first chance that the Tortugas had at any point really in the first period, and they tied the game up. The game sort of evened out after that. Gianni Sanrocco made some really nice saves for the Tortugas to keep them in this game. There's a lot of Dawgs pressure, and they're going to try to look to keep that up in the second period of a 1-1 game, which will be coming up right after this. We are ready to go for the second period. Teams will switch ends of the rink. 1-1 between the Tortugas and the Dawgs. Evesham and Marlton, yes, it is the same town, but one town is definitely big enough for the both of them in this case. Quick start for immediately the Dawgs. Just like they started the first period, Sanrocco had to hold that shot. It might have been deflected on the way in, just a shot from the wing. Oh yeah, it did. It went off the defender. Went off of Anthony Sanrocco right back to his brother. You're supposed to help each other out in that situation. Gianni was sharp there. He knew what was coming. There's a shot that goes over the net on the backhand. Sanrocco shrugged his shoulder at that. And if you're wondering, yes, Gianni and Anthony, they help run the league, and they're playing. There's many ways to run a league, but one of the best ways to run a league is be a part of it directly, as Gianni makes that save on the sharp angle shot from Scian. That stayed in the rink. Another long slap shot. Gianni Sanrocco makes the save, and another chance that got blocked. Went right into the legs of Anthony. They're making their presence felt here early in the second period. My bosses. They're great bosses, in case you're wondering, by the way. And they didn't pay me to say that. It was Brendan Brendor who blocked that shot, number 89, off of the wing of Scian. It's going to go all the way down. That was deflected, so it's no icing. Papagno trying to clear it. That's kept in by Altamare. Tried to center that towards Mike Davis in the slot. Rolled away from him. Tortugas trying to push in the offensive zone here. Down low, John Stewart deep in his own corner. Able to sling it ahead. Finds Jake Miller. Former Tortuga from a couple of years ago, trying to shake his way around a defender. Filter that through as Maroney watching him. And the Tortugas will push it ahead. Huffnagel. Former ice hockey pro, he sent it in, but he didn't have a lot of help in the offensive zone. About 2 minutes into period number 2 of a 1-1 game between these two teams. As we said, finished 4th and 5th in the regular season last year. Evesham 4th, Marlton 5th, and then the Dawgs ended up winning that 2-game playoff series. Mauger trying to work up the wing, but play slow down. Stewart trying to set the table, be very patient to break through the ball hockey version of the neutral zone trap. Becoming difficult to do that, and it's going to chase Mauger all the way back. Took about 30 seconds to break this ball into the zone. Michael Andes trying to get there on the wing, number 88. Ended up turning it over. Here comes Aaron Huffnagel. Shows the good patience, got that into the slot for Maroney, and that might have been stopped. It's loose in the blue paint for a second. Papagno just fell on top of it. I don't think he knew where this was. Huffnagel again, that's great patience, finds the trailer. Papagno makes the save. That's why. The shot was off the side of the net from Anthony Sanrocco. He tried to jam it in, and he just ran out of racetrack. Had it off the end of his tape for a second, a little bit of space. Pagno's just lying there in the crease. He thinks the ball was under him, and it wasn't under him. Oh, Anthony Sanrocco couldn't jam it in. Tough play there. 3 minutes into the period. Still 1-1. Tortugas had the best chance of the game thus far. Centering pass is going to roll all the way through. Mauger will go and try to get it. Along the wing, right circle. Hammers it cross ice. Michael Andes up the wall, deflects out of play. 1 point about Anthony Sanrocco, of course, because he just had that chance. You see Gianni waiting for the setup here. How many commissioners are playing in their own league? Have you ever seen Gary Bettman on skates before? I haven't. Although, who am I to talk, because this commentator could barely roller skate as opposed to even ice skating. Being involved directly in your league by playing, there are not many commissioners that could say they've done that before. That's why you watch the NBHL Game of the Week, for facts like that. Cole Anderson Hilliard trying to get it out in front of that, deflected just wide. Still loose. Cole Anderson Hilliard was trying to clear it. Unable to do so, and then ended up going out in front. Timmy Ryan trying to center it. Cross ice feed. Opportunity there. Sanrocco to save. The rebound is loose and it's in. And the Dawgs have taken the lead back. Timmy Ryan sent it across. Austin Mauger was trying to set the table, and it was Steve Scian who put it away. You see, that was an opportunity at the other end for Jack Rhodes, and then great save at one end leads to a goal at the other, and there's the shot. Loose in front off a rebound, trying to jam it away, and eventually it is Scian who just forced it over the line for a 2-1 Dawgs lead. Doesn't matter what kind of hockey you're playing, it always seems to work that when you have a great chance at one end that's stopped, it's going to lead to a goal at the other end, and that's exactly what happened here. Loose along the wall and cleared out of play. The draw's going to stay down here. Dawgs offensive zone. Now trying to push for the first 2-goal lead of the game. First period started with the Dawgs having a lot of offensive zone time. They got the goal very early from Jake Miller. Then Davis responded 58 seconds later to tie it. Tortugas didn't really have a lot of offensive zone time to speak of early in the game, and now the game's been pretty even since, but Dawgs have the lead. And Dorr, number 89, in a duel there with Timmy Ryan. Loose behind the net. This is Hickey trying to jam it out in front. Sanrocco lost his stick. He got it back. It's always a little goalie 911 when you lose your stick. But Gianni had that covered. He was in a commercial as well in this broadcast. He's in so many places at once we can't keep track of him. Man of many talents. I think that's what is so special about the NBHL. The commissioners are players. They also work to help put these broadcasts together. Scian looking for another one, and that went short side and wide. Didn't get the cage. Turned over behind the net. Another opportunity, Miller, that was into some shoes and blocked. You're so used to saying skates, but it's ball hockey. Hit it into some feet. Cole Anderson Hilliard. He's got space, 2-on-1. Anderson Hilliard missed the net wide. Great opportunity for Cole Anderson Hilliard. Sanrocco's made some really good saves for the Tortugas in net, and then you think about the chances that now for the Dawgs have missed the target. There have been a couple of those. Flipped all the way down to the other end. Dawgs are right back on it. Mauger ahead. He looks to get it out in front. And centering pass was blocked. Dom DeVito cut the angle off. It was Anderson Hilliard again. Miller shoots. That goes a mile into the air. Altamare gloves it down. And the Tortugas will reset. Huffnagel's been a lot quieter in the second period than he was in the first. He'll try to play it ahead. That found some space. Rolls off the attacking skate. End of a stick there. Trying to stake a claim to that in the slot, but no shot came. Loose along the boards. Numbers here for the Tortugas. Another chance, and that shot, Pagno didn't have to do a whole lot. 3:20 to go in the period. Another chance. That shot goes wide and deflects out of play. So it's the Tortugas who are now fighting to get that game-tying goal. About 3:05 to go in the period. They're doing a good job of keeping themselves in the game, even though they have spent a lot of time defending. Gianni Sanrocco. Yes, he is one of my bosses, but he's playing a really good game here. And some of the saves he made in the first period and a couple here in the second are why this game is only 2-1. Also, Tortugas have a bit of a deeper team. A few players for the Dawgs unavailable today. Shorter lineup, but they're not playing like it. I mean, it's a bit of a younger team. And one of the other parts of this game you got to notice, you see a little bit of pushing and shoving with Dennis Hickey and Matt Egan off this face-off in the neutral zone here. Referees sorting it out. We haven't had to talk about the referees all that much because there have been no penalties in this game. It's been very cleanly played. For a game between teams from the same town in any sport, they're not usually games that go without some feistiness, some bad blood. Maybe a 2-on-1 here. Well, that chance went away quickly. The centering pass from Scian was blocked away. Looked like there might be a 2-on-1, but that chance passed pretty quickly. The Tortugas got back defensively. This is going to go all the way down. Egan trying to get to it. It went off his glove. Trying to play it to himself against Mauger down low in that far corner. 2:50 to go in the period. Tortugas trying to set something up offensively. And as Hickey is back there, he's got it taken care of and now trying to set the table. Physical, strong player, as you would expect an MMA fighter to be. He's just going to be very, very patient. You can see the ball hockey equivalent of the 1-1-2 or 1-2-2 neutral zone trap. Kind of feels like something like that is developing. Yes, you can do that in ball hockey, just as you can do it on ice too. As that was iced. there is plenty of strategy to be used in this game, and if you're the Dawgs, why not? Try to make it really hard to set up. Or the Tortugas in this case, because what happens in that case is you force an icing, and now an offensive zone draw, a rare one for the Tortugas here in the second period. Have to do the face-off again. Hickey trying to pull it back. Anthony Sanrocco won the face-off. He almost sent it across to Rhodes for that clean look, but just rolled away from him. 1:55 to go in the second. One thing you can note about Sanrocco's in this case is they're not even wearing the letters for this team. The commissioners do not get special privileges. After talking to Anthony, he said he didn't want to talk to the refs all that much during games. And you know what? That is very honest of him, and we appreciate it. Another icing, and we'll do it again. Very honest team of commissioners and leadership of the NBHL we have here. Eight-team New Jersey Tier 1, with these teams finishing, as you said, last year in the middle of the pack. And again, they both hope to be pushing up the standings going forward. As you remember from last week, in our game of the week, Knights Watch and Lakeland Caribou. Those are the two teams I think are going to set the pace, but we'll get to that in a second. Another possible 2-on-1. Scian trying to send it across. It was a very slow developing 2-on-1. John Stewart has an assist earlier in this game. Going to get that from Scian. This deflects out of play. Really quick developing 2-on-1. DeVito just had it bounce through him, and he had an opportunity to recover in time. This cross-ice feed was blocked. Stewart unable to really make a good play on that, and so the Tortugas have given up what looks like odd man rushes a couple of times in the period, but they've been able to scramble it back to safety. And they have it off the faceoff. Anthony Sanrocco hustling down the right wing with 1:08 to go in the period. Tried to send it across. Looking for a lane. That shot is stopped. Papagno is down again. Lost his footing, but he was able to keep it out. Didn't know whether that shot actually made its way through. And now we have less than a minute to go in the period. Comes all the way down and iced again. Papagno lost his feet a couple of times in this period, but nothing's gotten by him. He's held down the fort well as the second period comes to a close. The second period that, as it stands, Dawgs will go into the third with a lead. And this is their first game of the season. Dawgs are able to break this the other way. Scian, who scored the only goal in the period, he almost had a clean run right towards the net. Tortugas cleared it. Now Anderson Hilliard, pass it up. That was trouble for Dennis Hickey. Kind of got barreled over there. The whistle goes, the play is, I think, was offside. Ooh, Dennis Hickey had a little trouble in the neutral zone controlling the ball. He kind of got pushed over there. Might have been a 2-on-1 for the Tortugas, but they were a little overeager entering the zone. And you see there's 25 seconds to go in the period. Not many of those opportunities for the Tortugas in the second period, but they're still in this. It's still a 2-1 game, and a 1-goal deficit is something they'll be able to go into the intermission and think they could overcome it. Shot all the way in off that face-off. Mauger will go back to get it. 15 seconds to go. Tortugas trying to be aggressive on that forecheck. Mauger's just going to try to play keep away. The horn/car alarm's about to go off, and now it does. It's 2-1. Dawgs leading after the goal from Steve Scian in this second period. We're going to head to the third. Dawgs leading by 1.
I'm Garage Beer, and this is Bobby Carpenter.
Garage beer. Beer flavored beer.
Beef with an F? Okay, my bad. It's crisp and cool and doesn't taste like ass. I'm Bobby Carpenter. I drink in garages because my wife says I don't belong inside. If you like a cold breeze on your bag, drink garage beer. It's American and so can you. Garage beer. Beer flavored beer.
Dawgs lead 2-1 at the end of the second period, the end of 20 minutes of good ball hockey. We're excited for the third period of this NBHL game of the week. Matthew Aaron, thank you so much for sticking with us. Only one goal in that period, and it came from Steve Scian, just a bit of a scrum in front of the net. There haven't been a ton of those, but you can see he's Johnny on the spot to just slap a loose ball right past Anthony Sanrocco. Tough situation for him. He's been really good in this game. Mauger and Ryan got the assists on that goal. Otherwise, really pretty even play throughout most of that second period. Both teams had some chances. Nothing in terms of grade A scoring chances for either. But right now, it's the Dawgs who have taken more of their chances. They have a 2-1 lead. They're going to try to hold on in the third period in their first meeting of many to come in 2025. We'll be back for the third period right after this. Here we go in the third. Dawgs 2, Tortugas 1. Pretty even game, pretty good game, and that's what you want for the game of the week in the third period. To be close and tightly contested, and that's what we have here. Can the Dawgs hold this lead? Ball deflects immediately out of the rink, and so we'll get a face-off in the neutral zone to start. Jake Miller and Mike Davis scored for their teams, respectively, to make it 1-1 after one, and Steve Scian made it 2-1 in the second period for the Dawgs. Trying to hold on and see what this has in store. Opportunity immediately, and an opportunity, it's good save by Pando, and then the rebound is put away. Didn't take really long for the Tortugas to tie it up, and that was Mike Davis in front once again. And it just starts from play just inside the blue line, a good keep-in, shot from the wing. First save is made in the second save. Look at Davis, he got two cracks at it. Too many opportunities for Davis right off the start of this third period, and the Tortugas have tied it up at 2-2. William Bonnet got the assist. Really good work from him, getting that initial shot away. He had some space, and he took advantage of that space. And Mike Davis just slamming it by Papagno again. Kind of left out to dry there out in front. Not a lot of help defensively. And now back even at 2-2. Well, it did not take the Tortugas long to tie this game up. They have scored now 9 goals in their 2 games as Cole Anderson Hilliard going to wide. Sanrocco was looking to his left for a second to see where the ball was. It went to the corner, not behind him. And the Tortugas now playing with a little pep in their step. And that deflects out of the rink. This came very close to the Dawgs getting the lead right back. This because a little nifty play. The centering feed came out in front towards John Stewart as Anderson Hilliard to set it up. He's had a very good game. But chance goes just wide. Around the boards, Anderson Hilliard will reset just on the right side of the line, and this play deflects out of play and do another face-off. Still a 2-2 game. I think the Tortugas have done a really good job of keeping themselves in it. They've been facing a lot of pressure. Anthony Sanrocco's made some good saves. Dawgs are going to be frustrated, I think. Just the amount of opportunities they've had that haven't ended up going in. There's a long shot. That was blocked. In the point, Sanrocco easily able to just cover that up. Get another face-off. Point shot just blocked. It's at the table for another face-off. It's been pretty even And the face-off dot. Mike Davis will try to take it here against Hickey. Tortugas trying to force it up the wall and out, but Nick DeVito, number 29, will play it across. And the Tortugas able to force their way into the zone looking for a chance. They have not led at any point today. Dawgs have taken a 1-0 and 2-1 lead. Another ball deflects out of the rink. But they have been evened out every time. On that earlier goal, William Bonnick gets his first assist of the season. The backhand shot is stopped by Pagno. Good save there. Well, it goes, and Anderson Hilliard has some time and space to clear it up the wall for a lane, which he finds Hickey. Hickey trying to bring it in. He got it shot away, long one, and Sanrocco makes the stop. A lot of whistles, a lot of saves and frozen plays, balls out of the rink. But on we go. It's about 2 minutes into the third period. Still a 2-2 game. That's going to be too far for Altamare down the lane. But I think it was deflected, so it's not iced. And Dawgz will try to get this ball in the offensive zone. Tip down, and again, no icing. And right now, the team's just exchanging possession. Riley Rudolph will look to lead the breakout. And Bendor waits alongside him. Both teams have decided to stack up the neutral zone, as you can see from the great camera work we have here. Altamare forces it across. Loose possession picked up by Jake Miller. Had the first goal of the game, shoots it in. Sanrocco tried to catch it, went off his catching glove. Loose along the boards. Trying to hack that away. Stewart ended up losing out, forcing it across. A hustle there from Scian. Goal scorer going all the way back into the corner to try to get the ball. But eventually the Tortugas corral it. 7 on possession. Altamare will give it up. See if they can set the table. Look, players diving, trying to block shots. I don't think that one got towards the net. Still loose there. It was Michael Andes who's wearing number 8. We're calling him Austin Mauger a lot because he was wearing 8 and Zach Andes is wearing 88. We apologize for the administrative error. The commissioners are, playing in this game as that shot was deflected just wide of the net. So sometimes getting all the numbers right is difficult to do. 2-on-1 the other way. This is Michael Andes. He wants to shoot. Sanrocco the save, and the rebound is put wide. Great opportunity for Miller, trying to get it back out in front. That was underneath Maroney. Still underneath him. He kicked it free. Miller back up high. Dawgs come really close to taking the lead. That shot flubbed. Still loose in the neutral zone. Jack Rhodes settling. They gain the line. It's Bonnick who set up the goal earlier in the period. Both teams with some chances. Decent work from both of them, but for now, we are still 2-2. We have yet to see an overtime game in our first 2 games of the week. One from Pittsburgh in week 1 and New Jersey last week. They've been very close games decided late in regulation. We'll see if that continues. If it goes to overtime, you've got 3 minutes of 3-on-3 and then a shootout after that. Dawgz can't break it through the neutral zone. Opportunity and a shot wide there, and a chance for Rose to try to wrap it around. He didn't have much of an opportunity to do so. Still loose in that offensive zone with the Tortugas, trying to create an opportunity. That was deflected to the corner. Right back in it goes. Bonnick sends it down low. Rhodes trying to retrieve it. All the way back. Tortugas, and Bonnick has it covered. Played away there from Zach Andes, as he said. Michael Andes is wearing 8. Zach Andes is wearing 88. Sorry for the confusion earlier in the game. They happen. Still 2-2. Anyone going to make that elusive play to come and win this game? Tortugas, again, they had a 7-2 win over the Hawks. They lost their 2 top scorers from last season, and certainly didn't show it in the game against the Hawks. They won 7-2, and they've showed some scoring touch in this game. Trying to make it to 2-0 on the season. Looked into the neutral zone. I think that can't pass. Either way, we get a whistle, and play is stopped. Still waiting on one of these teams to take this game by the scruff of the neck and run with it. Getting late in period number 3 of a 2-2 game. Mike Davis has 2 goals today. Got one about a minute after Jake Miller scored in the first period. This centering pass is deflected off a leg with about 4 minutes to go in the third, and Davis scored really quick off the hop in this period too. Loose at the side of the net. Dawgs trying to take the lead back. Haven't trailed at any point today. Sanrocco's looking both ways to try to say that as Mauger shoots. That got blocked. Anthony Sanrocco diving on top of it to make the save. Just a good keep in at the line. Little defensive breakdown. Opportunity for Timmy Ryan. He bobbled the ball for a second. And just great patience. Gets the ball in front. That shot was stopped, and then Anthony Sanrocco. Great instincts there on Mauger to dive on top of the ball and freeze it. He's played very well today. And genuinely, he has played very well today. Not just saying that because he is one of my bosses. He's a very good goalie, and I think his teammates will tell you that too. Anderson Hilliard, I think that went into some shin pads. 3:15 to go. Still 2-2. Very, very even game. Thrown towards the slot from Dennis Hickey, trying to get it across. Anderson Hilliard was available, but never reached him. Through the neutral zone. Pass is broken up. Davis tried to send it for Altamare, and it didn't connect, but Davis is back on it again. He's got 2 goals today. That's fired in wide of the net, and Papagno will wisely cover it at the side of the net. Lively end boards. Got to be careful with the bounce. Certainly was. Another face-off. These are so important now. Any face-off win could lead to a chance, and that chance might lead to the goal that decides the game. At this point, we're not yet in overtime, of course, but it feels like sudden death. Definitely next goal wins kind of territory. Poked away from Miller. Dumped in, went off a leg. The Dawgs had it all taken care of there. Stewart, near wing. Wiggled away from Rhodes, sends it across. Oh, it's a good stick. DeVito, and then he got another chance for Zach Andes, number 88. He had a look for a second. Dom DeVito made a good play with his stick check, but Dawgs still had a look for a second. Stewart back. Rolled in by Brendan Bainbridge, number 18, but it's turned over. This is Bonnick. Corner, he'll track it down. Getting closer to the end of this period. Bonnick came out in front. He cut on Michael Andes, but it just rolled away from him. Hustle here for the Dawgs, and that shot fluttered well wide. 1:40 to go in regulation. Feels like we might be getting a little closer to a goal here. For who? Who can say? Hufnagel had it roll off his stage. He tried to play it back to a teammate, not on the same page. Odd man opportunity for the Dawgs. Can they get a shot away? That was Scian. Good defensive work from Justin Maroney. Went down onto the surface to try to block any possible shot, and it took any possible shot away. Kept it momentarily by Hickey, but now the other way. Another possible odd man rush. Anderson Hilliard is back. Loose in the corner. Come just to this side of the red line. Floating red line means it stays in, not offside. Opportunity to set the stage here. Big offensive players on the ice. It's Hufnagel working it away. It's Davis now left side. Davis sets the shot and he scores through all of that traffic. Not just for a hat trick, but for the first Tortugas lead of the day. And it comes with so little time left. This little individual offensive effort here. So it's Hufnagel, it's Rhodes, and then it comes to Davis right here. This is a really tough shot, but look how good a shot that is. Who's stopping that? Papagno, there's nothing he can do. That just gets blasted right by him, and Davis, how about the hack trick? Hufnagel playing a role, Rhodes playing a role. It's 3-2 Tortugas, and it's all hands on deck time. You can see Papagno gets pulled instantly. It's 6-on-5, and there's not a lot of time left for the Dawgs to turn this around. They led so early in the game. Opportunity here for the Tortugas to put it into an empty net, and Michael Andes blocked it. He's going to try to lead this the other way. Rolls towards the wide of net. Sanrocco has had it covered. 17 seconds to go. Back up high, Hickey. Just got to get it towards the net. There's a lot of bodies in the way. That opportunity shuttled wide. I think it was Miller who tried to backhand it through. Anderson Hilliard couldn't get to it. Hickey tries again. That's blocked away. About to see the end of the game. Hickey, another chance. That never reached that. Tipped wide. Game over. Tortugas with the late goal from Davis to get the hat trick, and they steal one from the Dawgs. What a game this was. And how close it came. It could have gone either way, but it's the Tortugas who get to 2-0, snatching the hearts away from the Dawgs. A little playoff revenge. And we'll recap this game in just a second. What an ending.
Whether you're ripping clappers from the blue line or dangling through defenders, Napper has the sticks, gloves, and protective gear to take your game to the next level. Designed for ball hockey players by ball hockey players, Napper delivers unmatched durability, performance, and style on the court. Don't settle for less. Gear up with Napper and own the game. Visit napper.com to check out their latest lineups. Now, back to the show.
There's always drama in the NBHL game of the week, and there was definitely late drama here. The Tortugas winning 3-2 over the Dawgs. Mike Davis completing a hat trick in the best way possible. What a shot and what a time to shoot it to win that game 3-2. Let's look back on both of those goals. Show you all sides of the Mike Davis game. This one, the first one, comes early in the period. It's set up nicely by Bonnick, and you can just see the talent he's got to shoot in those areas, and didn't take very long for the Tortugas to tie it up. And then how about this winner? It's one of the plays of the week, one of the plays of the young NBHL season. Davis, Rhodes does a really good job to get the setup from Rhodes and Hufnagel, but who on earth is stopping that shot? They're not just ball hockey, doesn't matter what sport. If you're going to shoot like that, no goalie stopping it. Heck of a play. Davis, clearly the star of the game. Hufnagel had 2 assists. The former ice hockey player setting the table, and Mike Davis, the former superstar as he was. Incredible work from him after being cut by Caribou. Watching this game, why on earth did they cut him? What a heck of a play that was to win the game. It is a 2-0 start for the Tortugas. The Dawgs 0-1, but there's a long way to go in this season. There will be many more games of the weeks to come. These teams are going to be featured. So will many more. We will see you next time. I'm Matthew Aaron. Thank you for being with us.